Hello everyone and welcome back to Scale Sandbox. Yes, we are back and today we are going to be adding in the tractor, which I said we'd be putting in last episode. Now, you may notice that things look a little bit different with the whole visuals of the map. And that is because when I logged on today, I noticed this funky little weather and time button. And I'm not really going to change anything with it now because I've sort of got it to a place where I'm happy. But I will sort of show you the main thing I've done, which is change this outdoor ambient color. Say we change it for a green, and suddenly everything looks like it's been coated in slime. But anyway, I really enjoyed that little update. And if you guys can't find it up here, then all you need to do is come down into the menu and it's right there. Now, without much further ado, I think we should get on building this tractor because I know this is going to take an absolute age. And I've honestly no idea why I keep saying tractor because we're going to be making a combine harvester. So the first thing I'm noticing that all combine harvesters seem to have is this little catchy thing on the front. And then on the edge, it's got these two little wedges which act as sort of side barriers. Now I should probably color these all something that's not the wheat so we can actually tell it apart. And I'm going to go with a placeholder granite for now until I'm happy with the whole thing, and then I'll come back and color it in later. Now at the back there seems to be this large cylindery thing, and it has like a helix jutting out along it. I obviously can't make a helix, so I'm going to represent that with these little circles. Then of course there's the front of the combine which has the massive spinning thing which collects all of the wheat. Okay, so that is the basis of the harvester on the front. Okay, from this point, I feel like I should start putting in a little bit of color because otherwise I know what's going to happen. There's going to be so much detail in here and I'm not going to be able to color anything. Okay, that is what I've got so far. And you know what? It is really not too bad. So I think the next thing we need to do is the bottom here is filled with a whole load of teeth. Now, obviously I can't do too many because that is going to kill the frame rate, but I will certainly add something here to make it look like there is teeth on the bottom. Oh God, this is going to kill my frame rate. But you know what? I thought if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. So there's just a whole load of teeth there. And that's the stuff that's going to be sort of sifting through the wheat at the bottom. So that is sort of the main stuff done on the bit that sort of sits on the front of the combine harvester. And so now we can start to think about attaching this to an actual vehicle. First things first, we need to put a back on to this little catcher. And then we can add in the massive arm that's going to attach it to the base of the actual moving bit. So there we go. There is the attachment. And I've also just added on the base of the combine harvester. And then in here, I put a couple of little extra details, you know, some wiring and stuff that attaches into this front bit. And you know what? We can even put a couple more bits and bobs on the top. So annoyingly, for a whole section of this video, my mic did not record, which is super annoying. So I've just edited together a quick montage of the main sort of things I built while the mic wasn't recording. As you can see, I'm making the cabin of the combine harvester here. And I think we're going to pick up just before I start making the tires. Before we add those in, however, I do want to get a slight idea of how the body is going to look. Okay, now I've sort of got that front in, we can design a wheel to fit in this area. And I'm actually going to do this over here so I have enough room and then I can move it into place once I'm finished. First things first, I need a rough estimate for how big this wheel is going to be. And that is definitely too big. There we go. I think something like that is going to be the perfect size. Now we know how large our wheel can be. Let's start designing one. Okay, so that's the center part of the wheel done. Now I've got to make the massive tire on the outside. So from here, I'm going to copy across the wheel because I'm going to end up making two variants, one with a smaller tire and one with a larger tire, because combines traditionally have a larger wheel on the front and a smaller one on the back. Okay, so I've got the basic shape of the tire. Now I am a little bit stumped on how I can make the sort of tire treads in the tire. So what I'm going to do is I am going to finish this one and then come back and see if I have had any sort of ideas. And there we go. There is our small tire variant done. And you know what? Looking at the both of them, I'm sort of happy to leave them without the tire treads, especially because we're just going to be eating up more frame rate if I add in any more things. So the two wheels have now been grouped and we can place them in their correct position. And for some reason I've managed to build this too big, but to be honest, I've scaled that down and it fits pretty well in there. I lied, I just scaled it down some more. And there we go, that positioning there I'm quite happy with. And even though it will never be seen, I've got to put it on the other side as well. And there we go, those are the front wheels on the combine. And you know what, I'm going to go and work on the body shape a little bit. Okay, and I've sort of almost finished off the body of the combine harvester, which means we can get in the smaller wheels at the back. And since we scaled the front wheels down, I'm definitely going to have to scale these ones. And there we go, I think that is looking really, really nice. So now we've just got to go and put this on the other side. And unfortunately, from the back, we can actually see the ends of the tires. So I'm just going to have to cover these up quickly. And there we go, all covered up at the back. Yes, there aren't any details, but you know what? No one's really going to look at it from this angle, are they? Right, well, anyway, that is the sort of main part of the combine done. Now it's sort of up to free liberty what details we want to put on the side and the top. And obviously we are going to do some, but I don't want to go too wild because, you know, frame rate and all that. However, we can definitely add some really cool stuff. And I almost forgot, the only other thing that we definitely do have to add is the big exit tube out the side. And that is where pretty much all the grain goes once it's harvested. It'll be sent out of this tube and into another trailer to be taken off to wherever it's going. So this shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to grab a cylinder, make it a little bit larger and extend it backwards. Then all we need to do is add on some extra detail-y cylinders. And finally, we need to add a little box on the back. And that is where all the grain is dumped from. Now we can continue adding some really cool details. Well, there we go. I've added some unnecessary details on the top, and to be honest, I think we are almost done. There is one final thing that we need to add to this combine harvester, and that is a little outlet on the back to get rid of any waste from the wheat. And I would say a simple chute like that is fit for purpose. I've made a little bit black on the end so it looks like it sort of disappears into the vehicle. And then I've just added a little bit of this silver grating just to sort of finish it off. Well, anyways, guys, that is pretty much the combine done. You know, I am really happy with how this turned out. I know we obviously haven't done anything else this episode apart from this. However, I did really want to like have a go at just concentrating all my focus into one thing. And you know, I really think it paid off. Just one final thing before we go. I'm just going to get rid of these. And there we go, guys. That is me done for today. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all again very soon. Goodbye.